Hey kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, we are the official Simpsons podcast that only covers the episodes from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest ones when they air. Why? Because plenty of other podcasts have discussed the golden age, that being seasons 1 through 10, so we're tasked to find if any episodes from the latter seasons can match those golden age episodes we all know and love. But I say we because I don't do this alone. I'm just one annoyed grunt boy named Craig. With me, as always, is
Steve. Hello, Craig.
Steven, good day to you, sir.
And a good day to you.
How the hell have you been?
Oh, I'm doing great. Outside of the land of Simpsons, I'm a new doggy daddy. I've been making candy bars. I made a candy bar this weekend that is insane, but I think I love it. It has Reese's Puffs cereal, Oops All Berries, peanut butter, and some homemade strawberry jam, all covered in chocolate.
Yeah. Is that called a Oops All Steve?
I mean, it's not all Steve. I didn't put all the ingredients that I could have. It's not like fried chicken or anything.
That's a weird thing to say. Did you give the candy bar to your dog for a taste test?
God, no.
You're a horrible father. Why wouldn't you give your child a candy bar? I had plenty of dogs as a kid, and I'd always share my chocolate with them.
It's probably why you had so many dogs.
No, I've been, getting up really early, and not because of, life, but because of construction, and not sanctioned city construction. I'm talking residential construction. I don't know where I was when the flyer came out for all my neighbors to get new driveways. It's been a month of hearing jackhammers at 7:50 in the morning, and they know that they're supposed to start after 8, but yet they start at 7:45 or 7:30. It's look, some of us get up naturally at 8 o'clock, and that's how we want to get up. I don't need the half hour of you hammering concrete. So it seems like every other neighbor of mine is just getting new driveways. I can't afford a new driveway.
First of all, 7:50, or even you mentioned 8 o'clock, that still seems very early to begin construction. I think 9 a.m. is the earliest you should start doing loud construction. But yeah, also, who needs a driveway that badly? It's wild to me.
Our driveway has some cracks in it and some weeds growing out of it, and it's not the prettiest of driveway, but it's a driveway. There's so many other things that I want done on this property than a driveway is on the bottom of my list. But my neighbors, their driveway was perfectly fine, but yet they felt the need they needed a new driveway. I'm just wondering, where did I miss this on the knocking through the neighborhood of here, we're doing a discount. I don't know what the discount would have been if all the neighbors, there's at least 4 of the houses that aren't getting a driveway, but the rest are
weird.
2 houses at the end of the street, and then the street behind us, they're getting driveways. And then I don't know. I'm just bringing this up because there's just a frustration, and I just needed an event. This is where I'm venting, by the way, for the Simpsons listeners.
That's very fine. It's just so weird that the collective neighborhood would decide that that's the thing that you should work on. I don't know. It just seems like there's other things that you could worry about. I don't know. It's really weird.
It started off a month ago with one neighbor, and okay, that's fine. They're getting a new driveway. But then 2 houses, again, we're getting a new driveway. And then another one. I just feel our neighbor walked up to the people. I'm oh yeah, what are you guys charging for? Probably has too much money as it is. And yeah, I guess you guys could do my house next if you want to. Why? What I'm asking is, can our listeners please pay for a new driveway for me?
So now you want to keep up with the Joneses and
the Joneses, the Smithses, the Lopezes, all the neighbors. How'd you know the Joneses lived next to me?
I get the neighborhood watch alerts.
Yeah, the Joneses. There's the wife Felicity, the father, Indiana, their grandfather, Jeffrey, who's a little problematic now because he's been canceled.
There's that one guy who works at the sports equipment store, Casey.
The other Jones, we just call him Mr., and we sing about him a lot. Well, usually when I'm with him, Mr. Jones and me, yeah.
Right. He's always keeping track of the number of birds around.
Yeah.
Specifically black ones that aren't ravens. And of course, me and Mrs. Jones, we got something going on.
Yeah. Which is not Felicity. It's another Mrs. Jones.
Right.
And then they're always up at like 3 a.m. making soda.
Weird flavors, too.
That green apple, though, is tasty.
It is. But the gravy one, what are you doing?
Were you Tucker Carlson there for a second? You're like, what are you doing?
I cannot stop doing it. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
What are you doing?
Tucker Carlson is on our side now, so we're good with him.
Yeah. He's not just doing this to hope to be relevant in 2 years with the midterms. He's definitely come to reason. Again, we're not a political podcast.
We are not a political podcast, Steve. We're going to keep this intro
brief.
Poor choice of words. Yeah, succinct, because I think we should just get into this week, Steve. We're going to go into the mindset of April 5th, 2009. Steve, what do you think you were doing April 5th, 2009?
Well, I think we were probably still...
We were living together. I mean, I probably wasn't going to the movies. Yeah, I don't think we were either. What was the number one box office movie for that week?
Why, it was Fast and Furious. Not to be confused with The Fast and the Furious, because this is number 6 or 7 in the... No, this is number 5 in the series.
It's kind of like a soft reboot, right?
I have never seen a Fast nor a Furious, but I'm seeing that there are 14 of them.
No. Oh, I guess if you count the Hobbs and Shaw, a Fast and Furious story.
And then there's also Fast X, the F9, The Fate of the Furious, Furious 7, Fast and Furious 6, Los Bandoleros.
I don't know that one.
Fast and 5, Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift, the turbocharged project, Too Fast, Too Furious, and then the OG. And then the forthcoming Fast Forever that comes out in 2028.
Jesus, we'll be dead by then.
Hopefully.
I've seen the first one. I've seen Too Fast. I've seen Tokyo Drift. I've seen the one with Gal Gadot. I think she was in a couple. I think I stopped at Fast and Furious. I don't think I've seen from this one and beyond. I've seen Fast and Furious, but it's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I tried doing a rewatch of the Fast and Furious. I sat down, was making cocktails and watched them, but I ended up just passing out from my cocktails because I kept drinking too much.
I mean, it's understandable.
The first one is just Point Break, but with DVDs. DVD players, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, they're stealing DVD players.
I mean, it seems like dumb fun, and I have no, ill will towards it. I just don't really care.
We have a Patreon, Steve. We'll have to be that one podcast that has to talk about Fast and Furious because they've all done it before.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure they have a big audience in other states other than Oregon, maybe in the southeast.
Well, I think Too Fast, Too Furious, didn't that take place in Miami, which I believe is in a state of...
Yeah, I think it was in that vicinity. It was right around there.
See, what was the hot song of the Billboard that week?
Why, it was Right Round by Flo Rida.
I know for a fact that we would play this song a lot on our old format of the show.
Yes. Yeah, I got to know it like family, honestly.
Yeah. When I think of family, I think of my family of evil scientists. The Forresters. They used to send people up into space and make them watch movies. There was Dr. Forrester and his mom. I forgot her name. It's just a jelly in my mind. That's dumb. Steve, what's the difference between a jelly and a jam?
I can't pearl jelly my brother up your ass.
See, what was the hot rock alternative song?
It's Brother by Pearl Jam.
Does that song go Brother? No, oh, that's Mother, Danzig. Never mind.
Yeah. That's probably what it sounds like, but, a little different.
Woo, 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 woo. See, what was that? Was that an owl in here? Woo, woo, woo.
I think so. I think it is some sort of a hootie kind of thing.
Why is there a fish in here? I'm the fish Homer's gonna eat and die from.
It's one of those fugu fish, also known as blowfish. I mean, these animals surrounding us, it's very problematic, but I have to assume that it's not going to be, this infestation will be forever.
That's right, because the number one hot country song of that week was It Won't Be Like This Forever by Darius, Hootie and the Blowfish's Rucker. Now, don't call him Hootie because he is not Hootie. We decided to make the joke because Darius doesn't like that. He's kind of scared to be associated with the Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yep, just like Byron Allen is afraid of being associated with late night TV, but he's not really.
What was the hot dance song of that week?
It was The Fear by Lily Allen.
You know what? I know all of these songs.
Actually, the only one that I don't know, surprisingly, is Brother by Pearl Jam.
Isn't it the one about the kid named Brother Jeremy and he goes and
oh yeah, I know that
kills
one.
Some kids? Yeah. All right. I think we need to stop with the foolery of Toms and just get on to this week's episode. We are reviewing Season 20, Episode 16, Eeny, Teeny, Maya, Mo, in which Mo develops an internet relationship with a beautiful woman named Maya. When the two agree to meet face-to-face, Mo is shocked to discover that Maya is only 3 feet tall. Meanwhile, Marge wants Homer to spend time more with his daughter, not Lisa, but Maggie. So Homer obliges to find himself in luck when he discovers a children's play area right next to Mo's Tavern?
What?
Well, I never. All right, Steve, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to tell the neighbors to stop making driveways, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Today we're talking about Eeny, Teeny, Maya, Mo. It's the 15th episode of the 20th season. It's episode 436 in the show's run. Original air date, April 5th, 2009. The nerd code is LABF06. Written by John Frink. Directed by Nancy Kruse. Showrunner, Al Jean.
Alrighty, John Frink, television writer and producer. He's written a bunch of episodes of Simpsons, including 9 with Don Payne, who we recently talked about yet again. They also worked on Pride and Joy, Men Behaving Badly, and Veronica's Closet. And he is still working on the show as a writer and executive producer. So yeah, he's written 40 episodes so far. As I mentioned, the first 9 with Don Payne. And this is the 23rd we've talked about, but also, I guess, the 5th we've also talked about.
Steve, why is the air date of April 5th, 2009 so important to me?
Well, I mean, of course, April 5th is 4 plus 5 equals 9, 2009. So you love math. So there's that. And, of course, you love taxes, and it was 10 days before tax day, so you're getting that ready. And probably a third reason, which you'll tell me right now.
It is the negative 54th anniversary of the human-Vulcan first contact.
Wow.
As we know, first contact took place April 5th, 2063.
Of course.
We were celebrating the negative 54th anniversary of that.
I wonder what the negative 54th anniversary gift is. Is that like negative wood, negative glass? I don't know.
Yeah, the vagina goes inside the penis.
Doesn't sound unpleasant. Actually, it does sound pretty, I don't know. I'll have to try it sometime.
You just don't have to do the work.
Yeah. Oh, well, that sounds great. Some of the episodes that John Frink worked on, Treehouse of Horror 11 that we talked about, Simpsons Tall Tales, Treehouse of Horror 12, The Bart Wants What It Wants, Old Yeller Belly, The Wandering Juvie, Bart Mangled Banner, he likes Bart episodes, All About Lisa, Lost Verizon, Stealing First Base, The Bob Next Door, 500 Keys, Politically Inept with Homer Simpson featuring Ted Nugent, What to Expect When Bart's Expecting, Love is in the Air, Simprovised, Go Big or Go Homer, Another Treehouse 4, Pixelated and Afraid, Bartless, Cremains of the Day, Men Behaving Manly, and the most recent, Guess Who's Coming to Skinner, which we were not too big a fan of.
But you know what we were a big fan of?
What day?
Episode 161, Season 33, Episode 12, Pixelated and Afraid.
Yes, very good episode.
Yeah, Frink is, we've said it before, like the seasons, let's say, 12 to current Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's multiple Simpsons writers Mount Rushmores, and I think Frink is definitely on that one. The post-Golden Age, but yeah, pretty much from post-Golden to modern. I know we discussed that Golden Age going from 1 to 10, but at this point, is Golden Age really 1 to like 15?
I kind of feel like it's at least 1 to 14, but I think 1 to 15 is more than fair.
But I couldn't, off the top of my head, tell you an episode title from season 15.
Yeah.
I could barely even tell you a title from season 20.
Eeny, meeny. Eeny, teeny,
Are
miny,
you trying to decide which episode you know?
Yeah, Fraudcast News. Yeah, that's from season 15.
How about...
The Way We Weren't.
Are you just looking through his credits here?
I'm just looking through season 15. The Ziff Who Came to Dinner.
The Wandering Juvie?
Yes.
Bart Mangled Banner?
Margical History Tour.
All right, but let's really talk about Eeny, Teeny, Mayomo.
Alrighty. And we begin with a title gag, and that title gag is, that darn three-eyed raven flies across the screen.
You and that three-eyed raven.
That's right.
It really upsets me.
I'm sorry.
But you love it more than you love your dog, which is named...
Hobbs, and only has 2 eyes, but none in his name.
So it's confirmed. We've confirmed that it's Hobbs now.
Yes, I can say that publicly and legally.
How many testicles?
I think 1.
And how many does your dog have?
None.
All right. Yeah, Steve, you gave us the title gag. You know what I'm going to give you?
What's that?
A couch gag.
Oh, boy.
And it's an animation cell of Homer's skeleton. It's drawn over that cell with his gut and a can of Duff, and the rest of his nude body is added, and then the rest of the family fully clothed. So the living room is layered on top. When Marge sees Homer's nude body, she pulls one more cell with his clothes.
Oh, very nice. Our episode begins, as it always does, with Homer on the couch watching hockey on TV in his Isotopes shirt. I know it's usually called a sweater, but it's a short sleeve V-neck jersey situation, so I didn't know what you'd call it, but I figure you would know.
So it's like really baggy,
Mm-hmm.
and it almost looks like it should be a sweater. I think it's just a V-neck t-shirt.
Okay.
Like, let's look at the Isotope players. Do they have the same... They kind of have the same cut.
Yeah, I mean, it has the same V-neck, but it does seem like more fan-coated rather than like a jersey.
Yeah, because it doesn't go down all the way. I'm wondering if this was like... like when you go to sometimes the giveaways at stadiums, maybe this was like a free shirt giveaway that has like a giant T-Mobile or Verizon logo on it. So it's cool that you get it for free, but like, do you really want to be advertising some sort of product? Yeah.
And it works for Homer because it is a triple XL.
This is the same size they give everybody. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So on the hockey game, a fight breaks out and the announcer comments that you hate to see that. And Homer replies to the TV that he loves to see it as the rest of the opposing team start wailing on the Springfield player. Another correspondent mentions the possibility of a lost tooth, but Homer's view is obstructed by Maggie holding up a book for story time.
Homer tells Maggie that now is no time to pat the bunny because he's watching a crucial Mid-Atlantic Hockey League Conference semifinal do-over game. The game drags on its 7th overtime, with the cast of the Sesame Street on ice waiting in the stands for the ice to clear so they can perform. And then a woman in the Elmo costume enjoys a hot dog while she waits. So just as the game is about to reach its climax, Marge walks in and shuts off the TV.
Hold the black label, Mabel! The Utica Mohawks beat Mavutis has broken through the Taupe's defense!
Stop him, Babando!
He winds up for the shot, and Delacroix slides in front!
You're supposed to be spending time with your daughter.
I will when it's not sports season. I just want to know how the game ends. And this game is over! Unbelievable! You'll never see anything like that again.
So that will do it from Wayne Bockhorn, Jean-Pierre Petomen, and me, Doug Jacques Lalonde, here at Utica's Kill Quick Rat Poison Arena.
What's the score?
Now stay tuned for Picking the Perfect Apple. It's already in progress.
Oh, the score, damn you!
Once again, today's final score.
As somebody who's watched a fair amount of hockey, the depiction of the hockey announcers is so perfect.
Yeah, the middle guy kind of like was a Don Cherry type.
And it's always like a guy in like a double-breasted neon green suit.
That's the Don Cherry for you, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they always just look a little off for like sports announcers, and it's just, I don't know. I love watching hockey.
Hockey's almost over, Steve. The Stanley Cup is afoot.
Ooh.
Or a skate, as they would call it.
Who is the big teams?
Well, as of this record, I think it's going to be Game 7 for the Buffalo Sabres
Ooh.
and the Montreal Quebecs. I mean, Canadians. And there'll be whoever wins from the Canadians to the Sabres will be facing off the Carolina Hurricanes, which has a connection to our Portland because the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes just bought the Portland Trailblazers. So,
oh wow!
Any luck with that new ownership? Maybe we'll get the Blazers into the NBA championships in the near future. And then for us Westerners, we got Colorado Avalanche facing the Las Vegas Golden Showers.
Oh, PP.
That's the Golden Knights, but the Golden Showers will take over if the Knights surrender.
Yes.
Steve, who you have for the Stanley Cup of 2026?
I think it's going to be a Sabre in the USA.
I'm going for Carolina versus Colorado with a Carolina win in Game 5.
Okay.
Now back to you, Steve.
Alrighty. So, frustrated, Homer shouts that he will never know the score. And as he does this, he pounds on his laptop, unknowingly landing on sites that display the score, such as ESPN Sports News, Hockey Results Now, and Miss a Game? We've got the score. Marge is getting angry and is ready to let Homer know the score. And not understanding her use of the word score, Homer thinks that this could be a highlight of their marriage.
Marge then lets the score be known. Maggie doesn't know who her daddy is. Homer denies the accusation of neglect, but when he asks Maggie who daddy is, she crawls over to Santa's little helper. So the dog puts Maggie in a stroller and takes her outside to show off to other dogs, and Homer's impressed, and the dog's parenting prowess is proven even further as he's changing Maggie's diaper.
Aw. So to make Marge happy, Homer puts Maggie in her stroller and announces that he'll be spending the day with Muggsy. Marge corrects him that his daughter's actually Maggie, and Homer replies that Marge isn't Naggy. She just sets a really high bar. Marge asks that he bring a sweater for Maggie, which to him is another example of the impossibly high bar.
Do you think I should start calling my daughter Muggsy?
I think you should, yeah.
All right. From henceforth on this podcast, if you refer to my daughter, her name is Muggsy.
And if she has a voice, she has personality. Okay.
But you can refer to my daughter, but if you talk about my granddaughter, we're going to have issues, Steve.
Stay away from my granddaughter.
Oh, is that Mike from Breaking Bad?
Sure. We go to the same barber.
Yeah. So father and daughter walk down the street with Santa's little helper running close behind to give Muggsy her bottle. So they hit up Lard Lad Donuts, visit the tire fire, and then arrive at a parking spot reserved for Homer, which is next to a barrel of nuclear waste. How's that pronounced?
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
Homer tells Maggie that this is where he goes every morning, and it's Moe's Tavern. Homer then places Maggie on the billiards table so she can learn her numbers, while he gets happier and happier, and then sadder and sadder.
You, as far as I know, are a great dad, but this episode kind of made me think of you.
I just don't have a bar like most to take my daughter to.
Not yet, but you'll get there.
I told you the closest bar to my domicile is an Applebee's, and God be damned if I take my child to an Applebee's.
It's good to have standards. Maybe one day a Chili's will open up in your neighborhood.
One can only dream.
Yes. So Muggsy uses half a cue stick to row herself to the pool table pocket, slipping from one hole to another, and then juggling balls. That sentence is more graphic than I intended it to be. While this is happening, Homer notices that Moe is tidying up the place. Moe scrubs a wall, which is actually a filthy window, that reveals a playground behind the bar. Homer thinks that she could play out there while he spends time drinking. Maggie accepts that idea, and Homer notes that it's their first enabling. As the bar regulars try to get Maggie's attention, Moe explains why he's on a cleaning spree.
Hi, Maggie.
Up here, beautiful.
Yo, Mag!
It's me, Uncle Barney. Remember, I taught you your ABCs. A, B, P, K, R.
So, I suppose you guys are still wondering why I'm cleaning the bar?
Woo! Hey, Maggie! Maggie!
Hey there, Maggie. Hello, Maggie.
Hey, Maggie! Maggie, look at my face! It all began about a month ago. It was a typical Friday night, me surfing the net at the public library with occasional drinking fountain breaks. Just how I like it, warm and rusty. I couldn't believe it. I finally found an intelligent, sophisticated woman who hadn't heard any of my knock-knock jokes. Orange who? All right, Mo, give it a punchline, nice and easy. Orange, you glad I didn't say banana. The gargoyle has landed.
In the beginning of that clip, we heard Barney say the alphabet just in saying random letters. And my punch-up for that would be that he would say the alphabet backwards because he's done so many field sobriety tests because he's a lush.
For once, Steve, on this podcast, I'm not going to give you a crickets. I think that's genius.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You may now retire.
Yay, I'm done.
I also like how, people probably complain when there's always like something that's always been there, but we've never seen it, like the playground behind Moe's now. But I like the fact that it's always been there, and yet he just has this like loaded shotgun like inches away from children and shoots it off in the air with children right there.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that.
Does the way Moe's work is like there's the door to the back, that's where the restrooms are at. But isn't there like another door to like the right of that where he keeps like the basement and like his whales?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's kind of like, it's almost like an L shape. Because I always imagine that maybe there's more parking where that window is at.
There isn't a lot of parking, and Homer has a reserved spot somewhere. So yeah, that would make sense.
But there is a side parking as well. So I don't know. It's a cartoon after all.
That's true.
Another funny thing is like Moe is describing the story where he's, talking to Maya on the computer. But he says it's like a Friday night. So I mean, he closed Moe's on a Friday?
That's bad business. I mean, you want a bar to shut down on a Friday night?
Unless this is like 3:30 in the morning.
We don't know where Maya is from.
True.
So maybe she's on a coast different from Springfield. And yeah, maybe it's like midnight for where she is.
I'm looking at the computer. I don't see a time. They animated. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe Moe is in Eastern Standard Time, and maybe Maya's in Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, is there a single -springfield.com that we can go to?
We can, and it redirects to 11points.com/11 websites featured Simpsons get visit. And basically a list of different actual websites that have been featured on the show. I don't know if you remember 11 Points, but it was kind of a fun waste of time.
I don't remember anything about 11 Points.
I think it was kind of like a listicle website back when the internet wasn't so awful. Like when you're done with your Cracked and your Chive.com, you'd go to 11 Points and maybe there'd be a list of like 11 things. So yeah, there's Mr. X's webpage, oldcoot.com, whatbadgerseat.com, betterthantv.com, and the rest.
I mean, obviously it's still up, but is it still active? Like, is there new things being posted?
I don't know about 11 Points, but that was posted in 2023, so that's, kind of recent.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll stick with my E-Bombs world. Is that still around?
Sure, yeah.
What was that one website when we were in high school, like, there was a lot of, like, gory stuff on it. What was that called?
Was that rotten.com?
Yeah, rotten.com. Oof. I was too scared to go to that. Like, that was one where I go to the family computer, type it in, then clear the history out.
Yeah.
And that was the only website I would go to where I'd have to clear the history.
Of course.
For some reason, every other porn site I went to, there was already purple highlighted, and I'd just gone there for the first time. I don't get it.
Very strange, yeah.
Yeah, I like it when there's those websites, and we talk about it all the time on the podcast. Like if there's, Homer says chunkylover53 at AOL.com, like to email it or something and see if anyone responds. No one has responded, by the way. Remember we went to email someone? No one, I haven't gotten a response. There was an episode of Hacks on a few weeks ago where the Lorraine Newman daughter, Hannah Einbinder, that's her name, she tells a person her email is missavadaniels@gmail.com. So I'm like, hey, if you say it on the TV, I'm going to email it. And I typed it in, and it's a picture of her. So then I just, emailed the character, but I haven't got a response yet.
She's probably busy working on her, her stuff for Deborah's big comeback on MSG to MSG.
Yeah, I just sent the subject, yo, and then the body of the text that said, you up, ?
Mm-hmm.
No response yet. And that was from your account, too.
No, well, thank you for that.
So Maya, the person Mo is chatting with online, shares a smiley emoticon, or emoji for our younger listeners, but that's what they were called, emoticons. I think the emoji is just short term for that, right?
Yeah.
And she tells him that he's, funny. And Mo asks if she's not in reality some sort of creepy guy in a public library. And Maya says that she isn't, and asks the same of Mo, who responds that there is a much creepier guy sitting next to him. And then we turn and we see it's Steve.
Hi, how's it going?
So he turns the other way, and it's actually the crazy cat lady who reminds Mo of the former interactions and the fact that they co-owned a cat. So she then plays her one note by throwing kittens at Mo. So is there an episode where Mo and cat lady hooked up?
I mean, if there's not, I think we need to get to work.
All right, Steve, you be the crazy cat lady, and I'll be Mo. Yeah, I like to see your pussy. As long as you get rid of that cat from your lap.
Pussy.
And scene.
All right. Well done. So Mo goes on to say that he'd do anything to continue to chat with Maya, aside from, actually purchasing a computer. So the relationship then reaches the defining moment, the exchange of photos. And so Mo sees that he has a pic waiting for him on the singleinspringfield.com website and asks himself, dast I click on that JPEG? And he finally does dast. And in the present day, the barflies are eager to know what he saw.
It's weird to think at a time when internet dating was this. And there would be, because I used to do internet dating in its infancy. And there'd be many times where you're chatting like Mo does with a person without any pictures. And then there would be that moment do you want to send a picture? And how did we do it back then? I didn't have a scanner. I guess you had the old photos of maybe webcams. That's probably how you did it.
Yeah, and they're probably 2 pixels.
Yeah. Mine was about 3.5 pixels.
Ooh la la, fancy tech boy.
No, I meant, never mind, Steve. I was making a penis joke.
Ah, gotcha.
But yeah, so I think kids today, this is a weird way, because now you just have your phone and an app, dozens of apps, and all it is pictures. Do kids even care what the words say?
They don't know how to use those words. Literacy is declining quickly, and it's incredibly depressing.
Me barely know how to word use.
What word food, huh?
And so it was always just weird. Not weird, but nervous when you're chatting with someone. I'm all right, well, I guess I'll send you a picture. And the moment when it's I send a picture and then, oh, wow, you're really cute. This is the girl, by the way, not me. Oh, you're really cute. Oh, shoot, I forgot. I got to go do some homework now. I'll talk to you tomorrow, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then online AOL, and then I see them pop up. And then all of a sudden, their name disappears.
Goodbye.
You
hear the door shut.
Yeah. And that person never talks to you again. I guess I'm not that cute as she said.
Oh.
And when I say homework, this is back when I was also in school, so it's not weird.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you did say in the infancy of internet dating. Oh, interesting word choice. But yeah, I know what you mean. And then, of course, you had the advent of catfishing where you would use, another photo or somebody else's photo and hope that they wouldn't figure it out somehow.
I don't think I ever got catfished.
That's good.
I got floundered. Maybe got a little bit of tuna.
I dated a professional woman. She was a sturgeon.
Tilapia? All right. So Mo shows off a stunning picture of Maya standing in front of the Empire State Building, telling his friends that because she was so attractive, he was screwed. She'd be expecting a pic in return, so using a really handy photo editing software, but at this time, I don't think this was capable. Like, it'd be cool if like Photoshop like this existed.
Yeah.
But this just reminds me of like video games, like customizing your character.
Mm-hmm.
So he's unbeaties his eyes and then Neanderthals his brow and smooths the hate lines, lightens his ear hair, switches up his lips, and then dresses his new dashing image in a tux. After a moment of consideration, Mo decides he can't begin a relationship on a lie. As the dishonesty, it comes later.
That's right. So when Maya sees the original, unedited photo of Mo, she tells him that she thinks he's cute. So Mo dances around the library quoting the Jabberwocky, much to the confusion of the elderly librarian who's working that night. Back at the bar, Mo tells Homer and his pals that the reason he was so busy cleaning, flushing, and generally making the establishment look presentable was because of Maya, and so Mo places a bouquet on the bar to hide Barney, saying that he's meeting Maya later that evening, and just then the phone rings.
Moe's Rat-Free Tavern? Hey, Marge. Yeah, Homer's here. Oh, you want Homer? I'm sorry, I thought you meant Himmler. Heinrich Himmler. You know the guy who invented the Heimlich maneuver?
Those are two different people.
Yeah, well, they're both here, and neither one is your husband. This press conference is over.
Did he say Heimlich manure?
I had to turn on the closed captioning to make sure, but yes, he did.
So a lot of confusion there.
Yes, because Heimlich Himmler did not invent the Heimlich maneuver. And it is not the Heimlich manure. That's where you squeeze somebody from behind and they shit.
Yes. I mean, maybe he did. Maybe he was like, I can imagine Hitler is just looking over some battle plans and Himmler is like sneaking up behind him like Tom does to Jerry. And he's like, surprise! And squeezes Hitler's little belly. And then Hitler just shits all over Himmler.
Ach, der Liebe!
Ein Scheißer! Und Himmler!
One time it didn't work. He's like, I am far from pooping. And I'm like, that should be a shirt. Remember the far from pooping shirts in the 90s?
Yeah.
Like farfadin.
Were those like the equivalent of like the Big Johnson shirts or the...
Yeah. Mall kiosk shirts.
Yeah. Oh, those still exist, by the way.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have a whole new love found by Gen Z.
It's mostly like Trump dressed as Calvin, and he's like peeing on like a donkey, like the Democrat donkey.
Yeah. I hate everybody.
No, it's him peeing on Putin because that's what he likes to do.
Yeah.
But just a fun little quick clip there, and let's go back to The Simpsons, Steve. So in the playground behind Moe's, Maggie's time in the sandbox is interrupted when a gang of tough babies surround her. So there's a girl tossing around a teddy bear, like nunchucks. Oh. And a kid wearing a shirt with a skull on it and punches his fists. Maybe a relative of Jimbo Jones, because, all kids that have skull shirts must be related.
Yep, that's true. Or it could be a young Frink Castle before his family was killed in Vietnam. They weren't killed in Vietnam. He went to Vietnam, and then when he came back, they were dead.
I wonder if the timeline... I haven't watched any of the Punisher TV show on Disney Plus, or the original Netflix, and then the Disney Plus special came out. Is it now that he was like probably an Iraq soldier now, like Iraq 2?
Mm-hmm. That's what's great about all this is we're not the political podcast, but with all these Middle East wars that we keep on getting into, we can retcon our reboots of IP because there's always a new war. So
yeah, like in the late 70s, early 80s, when Frink Castle, the Punisher, was created, it was because he was a Vietnam vet. It fit with the time. And then it was weird because in the late 90s, he was too old for the Vietnam and he was still too young to have been in Iraq. Mm-hmm. So they retconned it to that he was a soldier in the Cola Wars from the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when Big Pepsi killed his family.
No, and he had to go to Dr. Pepper for...
Yeah. 90s Marvel comics were really weird, by the way.
Yeah, weird and horny, and full of soda.
Remember Combo Man?
Oh, yeah, I do.
There was like an advertisement where it was the candy combos, right? Or not candy, it was...
Combos are a shitty gas station snack that is basically a pretzel tube with Cheese Whiz in the middle, or pepperoni pizza or whatever.
Yeah, so there was like always an advertisement in the Marvel comics, but it was Combo Man, and it was like every single Marvel character, like a piece of their costume was like a part of Combo Man. So like he'd have like a part of like Captain America's chest, a part of like Hulk's, like maybe he had like one hand was Wolverine's claw, the other hand was like Spider-Man's web shooters.
And I think they had a contest where if you named like all 50 or however many pieces there were, you got like a free bag of combos or something.
Shitty snack food that was probably full of plastic that's killing us now and giving us all cancer.
100%.
Thanks, Spider-Man. Excelsior.
It's clobbering time. And by clobbering, I mean your colon. Get it checked if you're listening to this podcast. Because you're old.
And Steve, there was also a toddler like twirling a plastic chain.
So Maggie holds up her sand shovel for protection from those kids, but Homer arrives just in time to pick her up, and then he sees those babies, and he assumes that they're just new friends. So still scared, Maggie burrows her head into Homer's arms, which he believes is a sign of a confident and happy child. Homer turns around, allowing Maggie to witness the kids, giving her threatening stares.
Where are all the parents of these kids?
I don't know. It's like, hey, we're just going to drop these kids off behind a bar, and it'll be fine.
It's almost like a boomer wrote this episode because that's how they were raised.
Yeah, that's true.
Always hearing stories of like my dad being like, yeah, when I was a kid, my dad would just give me a note to go down to the store and buy him a pack of cigarettes and a 6-pack of beer, and that was fine.
My siblings would buy my mom cigarettes when they were kids with a note. It's a thing, and it's weird.
Is this what we want when we say make America great again? Because that I can get behind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go out the house to get my cigarettes. This I might have kids for.
Look, we've solved the issue of like not having to leave the house to get supplies like food, alcohol, because we can go to our Instacarts and get all that stuff delivered. But we got to pay so much in tips and fees that it's just not worth it. So that's why we have kids, because we don't have to pay the kids. They're our kids. They should be getting this done for us.
I like this, yeah.
Wait, I think that's actually happening, right? Isn't it like a lot of the bans of child labor are being lifted in this country? Like now we can put the kids back in the coal mines?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to be Upton Sinclair's jungle in like no time. And yeah, there'll just be child labor all day long.
As long as they're bringing in the bacon.
Mm-hmm.
The pig bacon. Not the money bacon, Steve. I just want a lot of bacon.
Yeah, of course.
So later that evening, Mo anticipates Maya's arrival, rinsing his hair under a beer tap, then squeezing the excess suds into the pickling jar, and then douses his armpits with mint schnapps. Noting that he was expecting Maya exactly at 8 p.m., Mo sees that it's 3 minutes past the hour. He then accuses the duff clock on the wall of calling him a liar.
Just then, a car pulls up, and Mo takes a deep breath and opens the door. So he looks straight ahead, but he doesn't see anybody, and he assumes that he's been stood up. But then he hears Maya speak, and then he looks down to discover that she's only 3 feet tall. He notes that she's a little person, and then he wonders what the proper term is to use for that, and Maya tells him that little person is correct, and then he pats himself on the back for being polite.
Maya asks when she'll be invited and asks for a moment to tidy up. So he runs aside to pull down a sign for the upcoming fall dwarf tossing, and he also throws away his copy of Little Women. With that business taken care of, Mo gets to know his date.
So, Maya, have you always been this size, or is this like a Benjamin Button deal? No, I mean, your picture made you look more, life-sized.
Oh, that was taken at Legoland. I was afraid you'd be disappointed in the real me.
What, are you kidding me? You're the best thing to come in this bar since cable TV. And unlike cable TV, I ain't stealing you from the Chinese restaurant across the street there. I see you watch ESPN too. I know. Yeah, that's great there, Ling Chow. So, you still want to go out?
That's why I'm here.
Great. Let me get a car seat.
Car seat?
Yeah, I took out the passenger seat to save gas, but I'm going to use it now, because we're going to do the town.
I do like the callback to the Little Women before the clip played, because, you know, he likes to read Little Women at the unhoused shelter.
That's true, yes. Also, of course, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but Tress is playing Maya, and I really like her voice, and she's just a very playful character.
I know, like, I'm trying to make the sound not problematic, but nowadays when we're casting, they want to cast appropriate, like, person for said character. Like, if you're going to be playing a person of color, hopefully that voice is of that same color nationality. And I think with the character of Maya, yes, you could have hired a little actor and totally fine. But I think when you use in-house someone like Tress MacNeille, it makes it feel like a cartoon. Because you could have just had this be like, it's played by Amy Sedaris or some, well-known actor. Right. And that would have been fine too. But I think if you stunt cast with a celebrity, then maybe even at this time, the celebrity could have been under pressure. But in 2009, were we at that point? I don't think we were.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, I think having, kind of like a staff member, especially somebody as wonderful as Tress, it just seems like a good fit. And, she is 5'4", so she's not a giant.
I've never, envisioned what Tress MacNeille's height would be. For some reason, I thought she was tall. I don't know why.
I get it. Yeah, I don't know. I just happened to look that up, and it's like, huh.
I just feel like she is like Mom from Futurama. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But the car seat joke at the end, I think, was really funny.
Mm-hmm. So Mo and Maya head to Luigi's for dinner, and while they wait for a table, Mo explains that he saved $300 on a new bar sign by simply changing his name to Mo. I wonder what his real name is. Luigi preps the usual table for one, facing the wall, but Mo stops the restaurateur, calling him Garlic Press, which, you shouldn't make fun of people's ethnicities, but I think Italians are still okay. And calling an Italian person Garlic Press, kind of funny. He shows off his date, Maya, who Luigi calls beautiful, but so far away.
So a couple of things you got me thinking about the name Mo that he could be short for. Is it not Morris, maybe? Oh, it'll be M-O-R. Maybe it's Mohammed.
I think it's very forward-thinking of you to ask what Mo is short for, not what Maya is short for.
It is Morris. That is his name.
Okay.
Isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I don't want to get this one screwed up because I remember him saying his name was Morris. All right, and I have to look at Mo Sizlak. Simpsons Wiki. There's two of them for some reason. Why do we need two Simpsons Wikis? I don't know. Full name, Momar Morris Mo Sizlak. All right. So that joke was a joke, but it's not a joke.
There you go.
We also have Morris Sizlak, Momar Sizlak, Moses Marie Sizlak, Uncle Mo, Mr. Mo, Kid Gorgeous, Kid Presentable, Kid Gruesome, Moo, TV Ugly, Ugly Hate-Filled Man, Smelly the Devil, Mo Saint Cool, Monster, Vachko, this is the Czech dub name, Bo, an Italian dub name, and Manuel.
I like that. That's fun.
Yeah. All right. I would just get nervous, our listeners are going to, complain when we to say Mo had a full name.
Dodged a bullet.
Put down your pencils, kids. You don't have to write us.
And find a stamp and mail that letter.
Our listeners have enough stamps.com out of the years of listening to podcasts. They don't need more.
Right, but they did get a free scale out of it, so it was all worth it.
Unfortunately, it was a fish scale. Mo and Maya head to Luigi's for dinner. We already said that. So later that evening at the scenic moonlit third base point, Mo and Maya make out in his car. Maya compliments his kissing abilities, and he replies that he practices by siphoning gas out of other people's tanks. He's never tasted super premium that tastes half as good as Maya's. Saliva, I'm assuming?
Yeah, probably.
Maya bashfully laughs, and they passionately kiss throughout the night.
I hate, the Simpsons predicted things, but that's two references to Mo talking about how expensive gas is. Because, he pulled out his car seat to save money on gas, and he's siphoning gas for out of other cars because he doesn't want to pay for it. So I know he's a cheapskate, but still, gas is expensive even then, now more so than ever.
If I remember correctly, the biggest gas hike was around that time, maybe 2006, 2007. I didn't mean to do that joke, by the way.
It's okay.
But I remember that was because I remember I was at that time I was managing a pizza place.
Oof, yeah.
The drivers were upset because they only got $1 a delivery at the time, because gas went up like 300%. The gas price hike was higher than it was now. Mm-hmm. And I remember we had to, to keep delivery drivers, we had to raise the the fee because it was expensive. At that time, it was like $1.23, and that was expensive. And
Right.
thinking of that now, I'm like, Jesus. Maybe it's like $1.76, but yeah, I just remember it was really high at that time.
Yeah, I remember as a lifetime like non-driver, I remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, gas was down to like under $1 a gallon, and the way to watch it like around this time to go up to like almost $2, and now we're like skirting on $6 a gallon. It's wild to think about.
I think when I first started driving, gas was 91 cents a gallon.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Like when you could just like drive and like have $5, like sweet, we can drive to the beach with $5. Mm-hmm. Now it's like I have $80. Sweet, we can drive to the neighbor's house.
Yeah, we can drive to the gas station and get some combos.
Yeah.
So the following day, Mo is beaming as Carl asks how his date went. Mo's never felt so incredible, saying that it's as if his heart wants to do Maya. So letting Carl and Barney are touched by that sweet sentiment, they then ask when they get to see the new love of Mo's life, and Mo begins to say how excited he is for them to meet her, but then he hesitates.
A thought bubble appears over Mo's head, showing Maya sitting in a mop bucket, being pushed around by brooms held by Lenny, Carl, and Barney. As Maya laughs, Lenny shoots her out of the bar and onto oncoming traffic. Lenny then says, "Yep, that's what we do," looking straight at Mo. And back to reality, Mo tries to get a feel for how his pals might respond to Maya.
Let me ask you guys something. How would you treat a person who's generally dynamite, but in some way a little different?
You mean like how we treat Homer?
'Cause he can't remember limericks?
I can too. There once was this guy from an island off the coast of Massachusetts. Nantucket, I think it was. Anyway, he had the most unusual personal characteristic, which was,
He can't wait. Look at him struggling with the simplest rhyme.
It's AABBA, dumbass.
So like they go from like bullying Mo in his thought dream to like then just bullying Homer.
Yeah, I a couple things. I think it's interesting that in Mo's thought bubble, Maya didn't seem to mind being pushed around like that at all. Like she was having fun with the weird mop hockey thing. And then also there was a man from Nantucket. Normally, like I'd say, like, that should go in joke jail. But the fact that Homer is so bad at it, it makes it work for me.
And just the skill of writing that joke to make it not rhyme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
So tell me more about this man from Nantucket.
Well, he is well endowed because his parents were rich. That's how he can live in the Northeast. You know, it's very expensive to live over there. A lot of legacy houses. Also, he's got a hog because he's a pig farmer, and he's also got a great hammer because he does some carpentry in his off time. And his dick is great. He's a great public speaker.
His dictation, you mean?
Yeah.
So you could say he would put it in his mouth and lick it in some sort of fashion?
I think so, yeah. I think he would probably swallow his pride and suck that dick, yeah.
What about the one about the woman from Venus?
I don't know if I know that one. What's her deal?
I think it was the same thing about the man from Nantucket.
Oh, okay. Homeowner, carpenter. Yeah, okay.
What about the boy from Epstein's Island? Oh, Jesus.
I think he's no longer with us. Anyway, behind Mo, we see Maggie in the playground once again, surrounded. This time, it's diaper-clad toddlers circling her, using turned-up sand buckets to drum out a haunting and heart-thumping tune. As the drums continue, a leader emerges, seemingly, a child of Kearney, with a buff physique, a shaved head, and studded bracelets to go with his diaper and pacifier.
So the lead baby steps closer to Muggsy, shitting himself to show dominance, and once again Homer arrives at the perfect moment, picking up Maggie while the other babies nonchalantly whistle innocently. So the next day at the breakfast table, Maggie is upset, and Bart, remember Bart, he's also in this episode.
Oh, hey.
He offers to lay down a beat on his bongo drums, but the beats remind Maggie of the tribe of babies tormenting her. It's a very funny scene.
And also, Bart plays the drums, so it works. Lisa asks Homer what's bugging Maggie, but he's not sure why he should know. And then he's reminded about all the time that he's been spending her, which at first he denies. And then he remembers that, oh yeah, that's what he thinks that the family thinks that he's doing. So this makes Marge suspicious. And then she sees a commercial that only adds to that doubt.
When you leave your children, do you really know whom you're leaving them with?
Your little angels are safe with me. Enjoy your second honeymoon.
You wash me unmentionables. And you preheat the oven for 2 children at 450.
When you can't be there, prying eye surveillance can. We take images from your camera, scramble them, beam them to our orbiting satellite, unscramble them, then scramble them again, then unscramble them that all-important final time. Our competitors claim we scramble our images too much. We say, can you love your children too much? The only thing better than prying eye watching your children is you watching your children. And we know that's not going to happen.
If only you had that camera, Marge, in Some Enchanted Evening from season 1.
Wow, it's very true. Then Penny Marshall never would have wreaked her havoc.
And died.
That's right. Rest in peace. Just a fun commercial. Again, Tress playing the voice of the old lady who wants the child to set the oven to 450 for 2 children.
And don't forget to give some Harry Shearer props for him narrating.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Yes.
Yeah. That's what he does best.
That's true.
Voice acting.
Mm-hmm. That's why we love him.
So Marge hides a camera in Maggie's bow. But as she hits record, she asks herself if she really wants to use her baby as a tool to spy on Homer. And Lisa walks out saying that yes, she does. Adding that when Marge says things, it's not just in her head.
So, after a date, Moe drives Maya to her residence. He walks up to a tree, asking if there's, a knob or something more like a Sesame-type situation. But Maya points to her actual house, wondering if Moe truly assumed that she lived in a tree. But Moe denies it, but says that there are plenty of other people who live in trees, like Tarzan, the Bernstein Bears, and flood victims. And then they welcome the house, and Maya kicks off her high heels and hands Moe the remote. And he turns on the TV to find Oompa Loompas, or, at least non-legally binding, close enough to Oompa Loompas, on screen. And then he turns off the TV and pays his attention to Maya.
Why should I be watching anything when I could look at the most beautiful thing in the world? Yous.
Me's?
That's right. Kiss the troll and win a prize. Yeah.
Listen, there's one thing that keeps bothering me.
Is it my religion? Because I am a snake handler, but not an observant one. If we have kids, they just have to have a ceremony with a cobra by age 3 so their grandfather will be happy.
No, that's fine. It's just that I can't help wondering why you've never introduced me to anyone you know. When your mailman waved to us, you made me hide under that traffic cone.
There's something so funny about him explaining snake handling, and she's just like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care about that.
Totally normal.
Also, I just love the use me's thing. It's very cute, very, very coupley.
Yeah, they make a couple.
They do.
Yeah. So Moe pretends to think for a moment and then offers a couple he sort of knows. They're the Simpsons. So after saying they ain't too judgmental, Moe calls Marge a stand-up dame and Homer a fall-down drunk. He then goes to resume kissing Maya, but finds that she's sitting there perfectly still with dead eyes, staring straight forward. He thinks she's just turned into a doll, but Maya admits that she does this little thing to freak people out.
I love it because so often that when you have a love interest, especially one who has like one trait or one thing about them that kind of defines them as a character, that's all they get to do, or they get to play like the opposite sex version of their love interest, like, like a Mickey or Maya or Mickey or Minnie thing. So I think that this little gag of her like pretending to be a doll just for fun, it's really effective for me. I think it really works.
It shows that she's just not a one-note character. It's like they purposely wanted to make her this fun, quirky girl that has a personality. It's true because she's got a voice and a personality.
Precisely. So Maya and Moe arrive at the doorstep of 742 Evergreen Terrace, and Homer meets that wonderful girl Moe has been talking about. And after he's introduced, Homer asks Maya a rather intimate question.
Perhaps this is inappropriate, but I have a mechanical question while the kids are out of the room that I can't help wondering about. In a nuclear power plant, just how is nuclear energy turned into electricity?
Well, if I remember my high school physics, the controlled nuclear reaction creates steam, which powers a turbine.
Man, oh man, slap a ring on that!
Just such a fun joke. I just like that a lot. It delights me.
It puts the viewer in a position because it makes us look like the idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're only thinking about sexual things, and Homer just being dumb. There's something to like, I don't want the kids to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
And it works because then the kids would be embarrassed that their father doesn't know because he works at a nuclear power plant. That he should know this.
Yeah. Why Maya would know, I have no idea, but...
It is funny that she knows it, so
yeah.
It's just another fun little thing about her. Steve, how do you think Moe and Maya fuck?
Oh, I mean, I'm guessing... with passion and doggy style.
Probably protection, too.
Yeah, hopefully.
She doesn't want to get Mo-itis.
Right. A Mo-TD.
Hey, all I know is when you're horizontal, you're all the same size. I don't know what that means.
I get what you mean, I think.
So Marge is in the bedroom getting ready for the double date. After looking to ensure no one is around, she shuts the door and pulls out an envelope from the prying eye surveillance. She plays the DVD inside to see what Homer has been up to, and initially she's delighted to find him dropping off Maggie at the park, that she seems to love.
Just then, Homer walks in to tell Marge that their guests have arrived, and so she heads downstairs while the video continues to play. On the TV, Homer tells Maggie he'll see her when the moon is out, and Maggie's left her own devices as the babies threaten her, and the lead kid clinking empty bottles as though he was inviting the Warriors to come out and play. Yay!
At the spring-filled Squidport, the two couples visit the carnival game where you shoot the water gun into the clown's mouth until the balloon of the clown heads pops. So the gunplay makes Homer thirsty as he points the squirt gun in his mouth and fires. While Mo wins a giant stuffed giraffe for Maya, Marge whispers to Mo that Maya is beautiful, while Homer's head begins to expand with water.
So a visit to the photo booth is next on the agenda, but Marge is disappointed when her photos are printed. They tell the story of a drunk Homer becoming more and more sloshed with each picture, until a security guard has to intervene, until that security guard also gets drunk, and Marge is left to hang her head in embarrassment.
So the photo set of Maya and Mo shows a happier narrative of two goofy kids in love, fully enjoying each other's company. So seeing his own smile, Mo says that he must be the happiest bartender in the world, before apologizing to the two mixologists working at the nearby tiki bar. They head back to Maya's, and after some sweet kisses, Mo finds the nerve to pop a very important question.
Maya, there's something I want to ask you. I don't know why I'm so nervous. This makes more sense than anything I've ever done. Well, other than keeping all my Netflix movies and saying the post office lost them. Yeah, anyway, will you marry me?
Are you asking me to be your little woman?
Well, as long as you don't mind having a small wedding. And we could drink champagne out of an acorn top. Our first dance will be on the head of a pin there. I've been hogging all the good ones. All right, now you go, but hey, keep it short. Well, what's the matter, doll? We were just having fun.
I stopped having fun about 10 jokes ago, and you just kept going.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, kitten. I mean cat. I mean tiger. I mean saber-toothed tiger. I mean...
I think you should go now.
You just had to go take it too far, Mo.
Too far, Mo. What a weird thing to say about Netflix and the post office. What are you talking about?
Did you ever, never return a DVD or lost one, or...
Yeah, I don't remember what movie it was, but I do remember hanging on to one for a really long time and then feeling bad about it. It was at a local video store, not Netflix, but I remember dropping it off after I think I was moving out, and I had dropped it off with a note being like, I am so sorry. This is like 4 years old, too late.
And that, like, Blockbuster didn't exist anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like a Panera Bread now. They're like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I don't know what this is. I can't put this in bread.
Funny enough, it was the best of bread in concert that you returned.
Yep. I love that band and all
Shitty
their hits.
70s soft rock music.
Exactly, yeah.
I remember, like, adamantly just being like, telling Netflix, like, no, I returned this DVD. And then, like, they ended up charging me for it. And I was fucking pissed. Because it was like $20. It was like, it was like a set, like a TV show set. And like, no, I returned that disc, like disc 4 of 6 from some TV show season. And then, like, I was years later cleaning out.
Oh, no.
Stuff. I'm like, oh, huh, I thought I did return this. Oh, well, here it is. So then I took it to Panera Bread and said, make me a sandwich.
Right on.
Yeah, the animation to that clip, too. I like just seeing how, they start the playful banter and then, like, her eyes just get, like, a little, like, annoyed. Like, all right, too far. I think we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this whole podcast is just one, like, joke gone too far.
Yeah, like, it's funny until it's not. Then it's just like, ugh.
We're usually around the 45-minute mark of this podcast, and you're just like, all right, can you guys just wrap it up?
Yeah. Oh, episode was only 22 minutes. Why are you still talking? So Mo admits his mistake and says that he's sorry, then asks how long you people remember things. Maya kicks him out and returns to the bar where he sobs and asks Lenny and Carl for advice after years of offering it himself. And they tell him that they never heeded his advice, and the one time that Lenny did, he ended up spending 3 years in jail. So Mo thinks that Lenny should remember the friends he made in the clink, but as Lenny points out, just because you're chained to a guy, it don't make him your friend.
Mo wants to know how he can get Maya back, and Lenny recalls an important lesson from romantic comedies. You got to make a grand, reckless gesture that looks like it could blow up in your face. And Mo asks about the possibility of something blowing up in his face, and Carl responds that with Mo's face being what it is, no one would care.
That's very sweet, Carl. So in the offices of Dr. Hibbert, Mo begs to be shorter. And after his signature laugh, Julius Hibbert asks Mo to explain what he's talking about. So Mo wants bones, guts, or whatever else to be removed to turn him into a micro Mo. Hibbert feels that Mo's request is unethical and no licensed physician would perform the operation. Of course, Mo goes on to Dr. Nick.
Nick holds a gas mask over Mo, saying that when he wakes up, he'll be a woman. And Mo objects since he wants to be shorter for a woman. And Dr. Nick realizes that he confused Mo with his previous patient, Dewey Largo, who walks out of the OR half of his original size, complaining that he looks like nothing like Julie Newmar. But I gotta say, you look a little like Eartha Kitt.
Poor whatever her name Merriweather is.
There we go, Lee Merriweather. I always forget that one.
That's why I say poor, because I always forget too.
So season 20, wasn't that the season that came after the Simpsons movie?
Yeah, and like it's a couple years after, because the movie came out in 2007. This is 2009.
Okay.
But this is kind of like, I feel like season 20 is kind of a benchmark because, for one thing, it's when they switch to the HD intro when they have the new TV in the intro.
Is that 20? Okay. I was just thinking because, like, I remember, like, they killed Dr. Nick off in the movie, and then now he's, I know he's alive still, but.
Right.
But I don't know if this was this, like, I guess not, it wasn't the reappearance of Dr. Nick. I don't know this.
I think they did spend some time without him, and so probably this is like one of the newer times that we see him.
Okay.
So a shortened Mo looks in the mirror, thinking that Maya will love his new look. But then Maya walks into the doctor's office, tearfully asking him why he would do such a thing. And Mo reveals that he hasn't undergone the procedure yet. He was just sitting on his knees, much like Tim Conway in those delightful Dorf videos that we all loved in the 90s.
What's a Tim Conway?
About 120 pounds.
Mo is considering the operation because he wants to share Maya's world forever. Maya tells him that if he needs to be like her, to love her, then he has seen the real her. Mo offers his heart, saying that he sees Maya everywhere, whenever he looks at the moon, when he sees puddles after the rain, and in the glazed eye of a barfly who's had one too many.
So Mo asks Dr. Nick to get to work and to save the bones as a treat for his dog. Maya responds by telling Moe that she doesn't want somebody to see her as short, she just wants someone to see her as beautiful. And then she says goodbye to Moe, crying as she leaves.
Meanwhile, Marge gets a chance to watch all of her nanny cam videos. She gets upset when she witnesses Homer chugging a beer, and then grows concerned when she sees the bullies threatening her daughter, Maggie. Homer jumps to the rescue, standing strong, even as Kearney's kid knocks him down, sticks a bucket on his head, and begins punching him. As the tough, buff baby slams Homer's head with a seesaw, he threatens to tattle, so the baby draws Homer to the sandbox and begins filling his mouth with sand. But it's Maggie's turn to be the hero, punching and pulling and saving her daddy.
Wow. Homer vows that wherever Maggie may go in the world, he will always be there for her. He then tells Maggie that he loves her from the tip of her toes to the bow on her hair with that blinking red light. And then the video shows him praising Marge for giving birth to her, and Marge, watching the video, is touched.
When Homer walks in, he asks Marge what she's watching, so she tells him that he's a strong finisher. Homer adds that he's also good at beginnings. They snuggle until he shows just how strong a finisher he is, and then offers some sage advice to, let's say, Moe.
What's the matter, Homer?
Not a thing in the world.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
Moe, this is a great thing for you. You went from sitting on the sidelines to getting in the game. Sometime when you least expect it, you realize that someone loved you. And that means someone can love you again. And that'll make you smile.
Hey, Homer was right. Who'd have thought such a little woman could make me feel so big?
It's okay, Steve. You can cry.
No, it's just so sweet. No, I do think it's a very nice sentiment that Homer has, that, like, Moe put himself out there and, like, he found somebody who could like him, and that means that, I think it's good advice for everybody out there who hasn't found a partner, if they're looking for one. If you go out there and try, and, maybe it won't be a love match the first time, but, keep at it, because if it happens once, it could happen again. Very sweet.
Yeah, and it's nice when we get that coming from Homer.
Mm-hmm. And, he just had sex, so he's in a good mood, too. So
yeah.
But yeah, Moe crumples a napkin into the shape of a rose and places it on a framed photo of him and Maya. And that's our episode. So sweet.
All right. I'm going to have to go get some tissues and clean Maya. I'm not cleaning Maya. I got to clean my eyes, not Steve.
Yeah, you're going to be a big finisher.
All right. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's finish up this week's episode entitled Eeny, Teeny, Maya Moe. We'll talk about some of our favorite scenes, maybe some jokes we enjoyed. Maybe there's a most valuable jokester, give it a review. Find out what we're watching next week. But before all of that, this is the fun part, Steve. We like to find stuff from this episode that can be turned into products to give to our co-host. And this week is no exception, because there's plenty I would love to give you on and off the rink. That's because I want to give you Homer's hockey shirt, but I also want to give you an actual Isotopes game-worn hockey sweater.
Of course.
You'll be one better than Homer.
Nice.
And you know what? I remember when we were young lads and we would hang out in your domicile, and you like to just lay in your bed and play the bongos, and you haven't done that in a long time. So I went to 742 Evergreen Terrace and I stole Bart's bongos and the company that makes comic books, Bongo Comics. And it'll give them to you. So now you have a bongo and bongo comics.
Wow.
The defunct comic book company. When you go travel with your wife,
mm-hmm.
and gas prices are kind of high up there, you're going to need a new car seat. So I ripped out Moe's car seat, and I'm giving it to you so you can have his.
Wow, that's very nice of you.
And here's a teddy bear that I would like you to put above your bed or above your shower.
For no reason at all.
It's the Good Luck Shower Bear. It's a famous bear that has one black eye, one red eye, and you have to plug it into. It's just for so it doesn't get mildew or something.
That makes sense, I guess. I can see no problem with that.
All right, there's your gifts.
Very nice of you, Craig. I'll have you know that I also got you a game-worn Isotopes jersey because I want you to look so good. But also, I got you an ugly three-piece suit or an ugly wool double-breasted suit like a hockey announcer, so you can be your own little Don Cherry.
Hopefully, without all the sexual misconduct allegations that got him canceled.
Yeah, you can make your own. Hopefully not. But if you do need to change your identity, I also got you Mo's photo editing software because for 2009, very impressive, especially free in a public library. And then, if you want to go out on the town, I also got you some beer to wash your hair and some schnapps so you can put them underneath your armpits so you smell nice and fresh.
I just drink all the schnapps. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Do what you want.
Yeah, whatever. Steve, do you have any jokes, MBJ? What made you laugh? What made you cry? Well, we all know what made you cry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What did you think of this episode, Steve? Let the listener know.
I think this is a really fun episode, and I think it'll come as no surprise that Tress and Maya get my MBJ. I think that she's a fun character who has a certain amount of depth that you don't often see in a 1 or 2 time love interest. And I really like Mo in this episode, his dynamic, because, I think it's easy to paint Mo as kind of a bad guy, as a monster, but then you see that he has heart. He really cares for her, and he realizes the errors of his ways. And it's nice to know, from our perspective that he'll get to be with her again and canonically be married to her. But for now, I think that works really well. And I think the B story ties in really nicely. If it is maybe a little flat with the way that it just kept on having Homer show up just in time to save Maggie, just repeatedly. And, we didn't get to see a lot of Bart and Lisa, but I liked Lisa's line about Marge, when she says a thought out loud, people can hear it. But some jokes that I really liked were, like Homer's mechanical question about nuclear power and Maya just answering it. Also, Maya turning into a doll is very funny. I think her performance is just really good, and I think this is a watch. It's an interesting episode that I feel like they could have been more problematic with. And maybe, I don't know, maybe there are things from this episode that don't age well, but I think for the most part, it's sensitive to the subject matter, and I think it works well. It's funny, and I liked it. If I had to give it a ranking, in the beginning, Maggie wants Homer to read the book Pat the Bunny, which is exactly 20 pages long, so I'm going to give this an 18 out of 20 pages. What are your thoughts, Craig?
I think you're right. This is essential viewing for completionists or canon, not completionists, but like canon references. Because, we were probably expecting this episode to be a one-off, and we have seen Maya since. She's been in a couple more episodes, and this episode really makes me want to watch the other Maya episodes just to see where we're at. I know that they eventually get married, but they kind of don't really reference that he's married to her because she lives somewhere else, right?
Yeah, and I don't remember the whole story, and so I kind of revisit it as well.
I think we did watch that episode. I think it's one of the more recent episodes. But so I think this is necessary viewing. I feel like the B plot with Maggie is a little weak. I think they're just trying to fill the time. I would have liked more of Maya and Mo maybe on dates and hanging out. Maybe Mo is going to take Bart and Lisa out and Maya's with him, like they're babysitting the kids, and there could have been maybe some shenanigans with the height and the kids that way.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe could be borderline offensive because, they're going to refer her to her as a kid. But there is certain scenes that I really do enjoy. Like, you're right, when they're back at her place with her turning into doll. I vividly remember that scene where they walk up to the tree and he goes, "So how does this work?" I remember I'm laughing, and I know this is insensitive, but the fact that he was thinking of her as a Keebler elf, I just remember always thought that scene was funny, and probably problematic. But the commercial that Marge watches also really great. The hockey stuff in the beginning that we talked about. And I love how Lenny and Carl and Barney throughout this episode kind of dicks, but even in like Moe's fantasy are still dicks. Even though Maya seems to chill with it. And I think the third act with the shortening that Moe wants, I feel like maybe not the best resolve. I think it's but maybe because like Moe always tries to go to extremes. I think that's the point of his character. Like even when we do get to see Moe dating, I don't know. It is fun to see him Moe-centric episodes. I feel like Moe in the world of Springfield is maybe one of my favorite non-Simpsons characters.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, we always talk about like Kent Brockman being up there, but I feel like Kent Brockman's never had like that much of depth of character. Like they haven't really explored his character as much as they've explored Moe. Like I feel like the Mount Rushmore, if you will, of non-Simpsons characters, Moe's up there. It's like Moe, Krusty, and I think we've had this discussion before, but like Moe and Krusty and Skinner, like they have like so much backstory.
Yeah, I think Burns and Apu for a while.
Definitely Moe up there. And the end message that Homer, of course, gives Moe, very sweet, and it's something that I think you should keep with you, especially if you've been single, or if you have kids and they're going to go through breakups, friends that go through breakups. Just remember this thing that Homer says. It, mostly will come true. Just knowing that you had someone at one point that did love you, knowing that is possible, I think that's a nice message. MVJ, I think, give it to Tress with Maya. I think the character is well written. They gave her more than just being like a one note. The fact that she's kind of goofy in her own way, like pulling jokes, is endearing. And I think that maybe the reason why they brought her back. And maybe new Simpsons fans actually like Maya. I like Maya just fine. I'm glad they brought her back. And I want to see more of Maya. So I think after this, I might have to go and watch those episodes.
Yeah.
But I won't talk about them unless we're paid.
Exactly. Can't have thoughts unless they're recorded.
That's right. If I were to give this a ranking, Steve, I looked it up, how much it is to get a bone shortening. So if you want to be shorter, usually costs anywhere out of pocket between $25,000 to $60,000 and up. I'm assuming $60,000 is probably a good doctor. Not that one. But the $25,000. So I'll give this episode, I'm just going to have to take it out of our Patreon account, which is pennies to this, but I'm going to give it $45,000, which we have plenty of $45,000 in our Patreon account.
Of course.
Yep. I think essential viewing just to get that Maya story out, and I hope you all enjoy it the way we enjoy it. And we also like to enjoy watching next week's episode. Steve, is it still spring?
I do believe it is still spring.
I think we still have a little bit more spring cleaning to do. But I think we're getting close to the end of spring cleaning because we can't keep cleaning spring and summer.
That season's got to be pretty tidy pretty soon, so.
Yeah, we'll have to go to spring cleaning probably next year when it becomes spring again. But alas, my fair maiden. I don't know why I said it like that.
Hey.
I'm a dork. Is this our 6th episode or 5th episode we have to re-review?
This will be 6.
All right. Our 6th episode we will be talking about. When I mean 6, if you're a new listener, we're going back and cleaning out our original catalog. First dozen or so episodes weren't recorded that well, and we weren't on track with how this podcast is being currently conducted. So we're kind of doing a reboot of our first few episodes, and our 6th episode was from season 16, episode 6, and that was Midnight RX. Steve, do you remember what that was off the top of your head?
I believe it's when Mr. Burns terminates the employee prescription drug program and the citizens of Springfield are no longer able to afford their very expensive but much-needed prescription drugs. So in order to keep the town medicated, Homer, Grandpa, Apu, and Flanders travel to Canada to buy the drugs with fake Canadian healthcare cards.
And that was off the top of your head?
If that's what I remember correctly, yeah.
All right, well, you better be right. And if you're not, you're out of the family.
Oh, no.
So looking forward to revisiting that episode. I do remember that episode, and I think healthcare is not an issue in this country anymore because we finally have universal healthcare. We're the best in healthcare in the world, and everyone looks up to us.
Yes, we are just another one of those things that America's winning at, and winning again.
This episode aired, season 16. Was Justin Trudeau even alive in this episode? Were him and Katy Perry just sperm when this episode was aired?
I think so. I think he hadn't even made any problematic makeup choices yet.
And Katy Perry had yet to go to outer space.
Yeah, she was barely even a space cadet.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks again for listening. And thanks again to our Patreon supporters. Please sign up for Patreon today. Go to patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys. It's just $5 a month. And you get a bonus episode of our podcast of, not this podcast, but us. A bonus episode of us just yammering away every week, whether it be about movies, another TV show, a classic episode of The Simpsons that we don't review on the main feed, or just us being annoyed grunt boys. And don't forget to email us at 13simpsons@gmail.com or contact us on Instagram or YouTube with @13simpsons.
And hey, if you're so kind, go to your favorite podcasting app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent, and leave a review, but you don't need to write a real review. Just tell us what you would put on your dating profile if you were to hook up with Mo.
And we have a TeePublic site, tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys for the 138th Simpsons merch.
Woo!
All right, that's going to do it for this week. I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, when you kiss the troll, you win a prize.
It's AABBA, dumbass.
The gargoyle has landed. This press conference is over.